All right, welcome back to a little bit of everything, where we kind of just talk about whatever we want. But in this particular episode, we're going to talk about the Apple event that just happened on September 12th. And I have with me Miles Broski. He is my cousin.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Miles, how's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
Excited.
Yeah? Love that.
For the
Miles just had a birthday yesterday. He turned 14.
Yes.
Freshman in high school.
Whew.
Getting old, making me feel old.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Want to get started.
Yeah, so Apple in that event, it actually was one of their shorter events. They actually only went through
an hour or something.
Yeah, it wasn't very long for
what
was supposed to be, the iPhone, the big release, hardware release. They went through I think first was the Apple Watch, the Series 9.
Then they went to Ultra.
Then they went to the Ultra 2.
Yeah.
And then after that, they talked about some different functionality with all the watches.
We'll get into that later.
Yep. And then they went through the new iPhone lineup, iPhone 15. They went through the regular 15s, all the new aspects around those.
They also had this, which we'll probably talk about a little bit of some, is their 2030 goal, which I don't know if you caught on to that.
Oh, the green initiative?
Yeah, they're recycling those new watch bands. Crazy. Have you seen those?
It's fully 100% recyclable material.
The confetti. I saw this thing where there was it's barf watches.
Barf watches. I mean, kind of.
Brown and green one would be interesting to have.
Yeah. Yeah. So after that, they went through the whole color scheme for all the iPhone 15s. And then
I like the pastel. And stuff.
Yeah, those versions of the iPhone 15 typically will have
Pro.
a lot of different colors.
Mm-hmm.
And then
those are the iPhone 15s, right? The ones that have
the
colors.
Regular. Yeah. And then they go into the Pro lineup at the very end,
which is just grays and
it's I think it was.
They had blue. They had a dark blue.
Blue. They have a black, a white, and a standard titanium color.
Yeah.
So it didn't color. It was just
kind of like
a grayish.
Like the walls.
Yeah. Whatever color titanium is.
So with the Apple Watch Series 9, the changes, I don't...
what series do you have?
I have the Series 3, a little old.
I have a 6.
Yeah.
Well, I have an Ultra 2. Should be here today.
Yeah.
So
the Ultra 2.
I ordered that. But
yeah, I have the Series 3. You can't get the new update on it with the, I think it's the 10, the WatchOS 10, I think was a new one. I can't get that on the Series 3, though.
Oh, you can't?
No.
When was what's the cutoff?
I think it's Series 5.
Really?
Maybe 3, maybe 4.
I guess we're already on 9, so that doesn't make sense. Huh.
So, the chip, S9 chip.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, with the S9 chip was, I think it's their newest Apple Watch chip, right?
Yep.
Newest Apple Watch chip.
Yeah, it's what'd you call it? The S9?
Yeah. S9.
Yeah, they the Ultra has a new chip as well. The Ultra 2, has a new chip than the original Ultra that came out either last year or 2 years ago. Now, I think it's
I think it's a new chip because I think both of them have new chips. Does the iPhone have new chips this year?
Yes.
It does. Dang. Going all out with new chips. Vision Pro, that's a good one.
Well, if we want to get into chips, so I have I'm a 16-inch MacBook Pro. It's with the M1 Pro chip, not the M1 Ultra. Yeah. So it's not quite the best chip, but what Apple has done with the chip architecture is insane. It's blowing any Windows or
Samsung,
any other chips out of the water like that. For efficiency as well, the battery life is still insane.
Storage.
And storage takes up less space because of the efficiency, right? But the of the software that they've been able to achieve with Mac OS, and combination with that and the chip, it's night and day when you go to different PCs like that. But I mean, the thing I'm pretty sure they have fans, but they'll never run unless you're doing some pretty graphic intensive stuff. So I don't know, that they're kind of just trying to bring that to all of the lineup and of devices that they have. So your iPhones, your Apple Watches, like all those, your iPads, all of those hardwares are going to be kind of insane here in the next like few years as far as how
definitely
metrics go when you're trying to measure stuff like that. So I don't know. That's definitely very interested to see where Apple takes their product lineup to in the next 10 years, because they have that Vision Pro coming out, which
it looks pretty cool. It's the best AR/VR thing. It's not really for like kind of like the Oculus. It's not really like that.
No, I would say it's more for business use.
Yeah,
than it is for recreational. It's too expensive to be that.
It's more an Apple product than anything else. It's more.
Yeah.
It's more like a MacBook than like like what you would use a MacBook for is the Vision Pro.
Mm-hmm. What do we want to? Well, you want to dive into something specific first, or you want to do the what?
We can just do some of their
S9 chip. I guess the biggest thing. I mean, the design. We'll just go back. We'll just go right into the Apple Watches. Yeah. The design, it looks pretty much the same.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they kept the design.
Maybe made the bezels a little thinner.
Yeah, that's also something that they did on. They also had the double tap gesture with the new S9 chip, where you had it on your watch and you could like double tap your pointer finger and your thumb on the hand that your watch is on, and it would show the screen. It's like saying if your other hand occupied, you can just do that, and it's good. There's a lot of things that can be used for, like pausing a run, or I think they said if you want to look at your notifications, you can click through that with that, which is also like the Vision Pro, where you can click things with that same gesture on the Vision Pro, where you can click that. It's basically the same thing, but for an Apple Watch.
Yeah, and I feel like that stuff's probably going to be coming a lot in the future with wearable devices like that. They're just going to use the
actions.
Well, it ties in like the Vision Pro can recognize your eyes, so like it has those sensors. I'm assuming that the new Apple Watches have some sort of special sensor in there where it detects your muscle movement in your hand. That would be the only way I could see that they're able to detect when you tap like that, because it flexes in your hand the muscles in there and the tendons. That would be the only way.
When they were, what's it called? When in the Apple video or the release, like the video release live, all the people who were like showing off the gestures, they all had their hand pointed down.
Yeah, they did.
Because I think that they kind of see it where your muscle kind of inflates right where the Apple Watch would sit. Kind of interesting.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah, I mean, I think wearables are they're here to stay. Like, to me, I think eventually iPhones will be obsolete. This is kind of a hot take. I think iPhones, the phone type of thing, I think is going to go away. I think it is going to be all wearables.
Yeah.
Like remember you ever watched any older videos about Google Glass? You ever seen that?
Yeah, where they
it's like glasses people wear.
Oh, yes.
And like basically there wasn't a way they could have that on its own, but I think nowadays with like especially with 5G, they could put a cellular band in something like that, and it has a number that's tied to a carrier like Verizon, AT&T.
Yeah.
And you don't need to have a cell phone. All you need is that wearable device where also it ties into your auditory bone right here.
Wow. And
it has speakers where you can hear where people are talking if they call you, and then it has a clear lens, kind of like an AR type of thing, but it's not fully enclosed like the Vision Pro, and it'll have like notifications pop up.
Oh wow.
GPS, like, hey, all right, yeah, you're turning right here.
Yeah, I just could never see the iPhone going away from the actual
It might not be for
holding device
a long time, but as long as they're still selling, they're gonna keep.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep making them. That's what's gonna happen.
Making them different, but if next year with the 16, which is kind of a big jump, with all that, I really can't see what else they could do besides something with the actual screen of it, like to make something with the technology of because I don't think they've changed the screen or like what the apps or anything can do, because it would be cool. What on the phones?
Oh,
sorry, you
yeah.
thought I was talking about Apple Watches.
I didn't know what you were
on
talking
the
about.
phones, yeah. So the Apple Watch Series 9 also has some Siri improvements, which is kind of just this small little thing that they added, like they did on the iPhones in the new update.
Yeah. To me, Siri is almost... There's a lot of, like, AI assistants out there. That's what I guess they're called.
Yeah.
So, to me, Siri might be third.
Yeah. Definitely tops, probably like Google.
Google, the Google Assistant is definitely top. And then after that, I would say Alexa with Amazon, your Amazon devices. And then after that, I would say Siri.
Yeah, and then the other one for the Samsungs. I think it's not Alexa. It's
Bixby?
Yeah.
I think it's Bixby.
I don't think that's that good. It might be. Don't quote us on that if that's not the best, but it's all up to opinion and stuff.
Yeah. So there are some differences
between
the lineup now that Apple has on their website for Apple Watches is they have the SE, the Series 9, and now the Ultra 2. Between the SE and the Series 9, there's not like a huge difference. There is slightly bigger screen option for the Series 9 from the SE. So the SE is 44 millimeter and a 40. The Series 9 is a 45 or a 41. Ultra 2 is the largest size. It is a 49 millimeter titanium and not aluminum like the other ones.
Titanium.
Yeah, like the phones.
Yeah. So. I didn't know they were bringing that to the Apple Watches too. It's kind of cool.
Oh yeah. It makes so titanium's lighter than aluminum is. So
yeah, it is. That's why they did it.
All three have carbon neutral combinations available, which are pretty cool.
What's the cost?
Yeah.
What's the cost?
The cost between the two is quite different. So if you want a GPS cellular one for the SE, it is a $299 option, US dollars. If there's just the GPS, no cellular, is $249 for the SE. Series 9, the GPS and cellular is $499.
Dang.
And so that's a $200 jump. And then just the GPS option is $399. And then you jump up quite a bit from the Ultra 2 to the Ultra 2. It only has the GPS cellular option. There is no regular GPS, no cellular option. That's $799.
So almost.
That's not including tax and Apple Care when you get it. So
Apple
Apple Care when I bought mine was $99 for 2 years, which isn't bad. And I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but they do offer a month-to-month option that you can add on there after the 2 years, where you can pay monthly for it.
Wow.
So if you want to keep coverage. But yeah, other than that, like the Ultra 2 is really, I guess, made for your
sports and activity people.
Yeah, your extreme sport.
Yeah,
like some ultra marathons where you're running 100 miles, like up mountains, that type of thing. If you're diving, it can go 100 meters underwater. It is swim proof, high speed water sports proof, and not proof, but it's made for high speed water sports and recreational diving to 40 meters, which is pretty cool. And the battery life is insane on the Ultra 2.
Oh yeah, didn't say like 2 days or something.
36 hours. Not quite 2 days.
Not quite.
But that's with some pretty good usage, I think.
2 nights, kind of 2 nights.
But I think you'll get a full 2 days worth.
Yeah, because no one's
constantly using the watch. What happens is with your especially with the Ultra 2, you're going to be doing like, pretty intensive like activities. So it's going to be constantly monitoring, meaning it's using more battery at that point. So, but
climbing sports is good for that too.
yeah, it has altitude meter.
Do they have? Is it like scratch proof? Like, is it any better with the
screen?
Screen.
Yeah. So the screen are, I think it's just the same glass as the Series 9.
Is it scratch proof? Because I know like I've had this watch for I think 2 years and it's scratched, but it's not too bad scratched. Only on like the edges. Because like only on like where the screen kind of curves over on the Series 3, where it like curves over into the edge, like it's kind of like a bump screen, like a bubble screen, where it's kind of like out of the watch, which is kind of like all watches.
I think with the titanium it will resist scratches, but the glass, I think will still get scratches. Yeah. I think that's kind of hard with glass like that to. It does have a nano coating on it that helps with that
brightness,
and the brightness is 3,000 nits. Yeah, which is pretty bright.
And it can go down to 1 nit.
The Series 9 is 2,000.
Yeah, can also go down to 1 nit.
Yeah, which obviously will decrease battery usage, and when it makes sense when you're just not using it, because it does have an always-on display.
Oh, that's what I was about to ask. Did you have an always-on display?
Yep. Which I'm not a fan of, to be honest. If it does go down to 1 nit, that actually wouldn't be terrible, I guess, for battery usage. But I know that when you have an always-on display and it's always bright, that battery won't last as long.
Yeah. So the Series 2 is... or not Series 2, Ultra 2. I'm sorry. Double the storage, and the ultra wideband is... I think that's the one that kind of stretches. I just read somewhere about an ultra wideband that they had for it. So if you're an elite, just to recap on the Apple Watch Series 9 and the Apple Watch Ultra 2, very good Apple Watches, top on the market right now, obviously, just came out with them. So
yeah, I think if you're trying to look for purchasing one, I think you would go with
Series 8.
Probably well, they don't have Series 8 anymore.
Oh, they don't?
No, it's not online. You can't buy it.
Never mind.
So you can, I would just go with the Series 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless you're doing something crazy. Now, I did buy the Ultra 2 just because I did. So don't judge me. But but it does have a quite bigger screen, and I haven't got to see it yet. But I have seen people with the regular Ultra 1, and it does make a difference. And I have put it on. I thought it was going to be heavy. It is not heavy. It does not any heavier than any other Apple Watch that you're used to wearing. But that screen does make a difference. It's easier to type on. It's easier to interact with.
Yeah, because I've noticed that you can now type on the watches.
Yeah.
On mine, you still have to draw the letters.
Yeah, but still, that's kind of. Well, no, not with the bigger watches.
I know with the bigger watches you can type on.
You can do it. Yeah,
it
has a full keyboard.
Yeah, like the Series 3, you still have to draw your individual letters with your finger.
Yep.
Which is bad. So the AirPods Pro 2, there's nothing new. There's no new AirPods out. They just have USB-C on the AirPods now.
Yeah, the case has USB-C now, which is, really good that they did that, because now that they made the iPhones all USB-C. You
don't just want one charger. All those chargers
one charger can charge everything.
Yeah.
Your iPad, your MacBook, your iPhone, and now your AirPods. I'm waiting for the AirPod Max to get Lightning. Sorry. Well, it has Lightning. Waiting to get USB-C.
Yeah. I wonder if not the Apple Watch, I'm sorry, what they were thinking changing all of them, like I know they were thinking to be more compatible, but what they thought that we would do with all of the old Lightning cables. Because they're trying to go all full by 2030, the carbon neutral. So what do they think we're going to throw them away, donate them, what? Like I know not like know. A whole family is going to be using it, but if you're like a single person like you, and you're getting the iPhone 15, and with the USB-C, what are you going to do with all the old Apple Lightning ports?
Well, hopefully it doesn't cause pollution. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't cause pollution, because people are just going to toss them in the trash can.
Yeah.
You're not really supposed to throw electronics away like that. You're supposed to recycle them the proper way. But I mean, people are just gonna throw it away.
It's not like, I mean, some people will do that, but not everyone.
Yeah, they never really addressed that. Like on the event when they moved to USB-C like that, they should have said
donate them and they'll change them or something.
You know, maybe give them like a head, like give people like a notice, like if you when you do buy the USB-C cables, do not dispose of your Lightning chargers appropriately, so you can keep that, so Apple can try and keep the cleaner.
Cleaner. What I am glad about with the new USB-Cs chargers and the thing, they said something about, gosh, kind of forgot.
Fast charging?
Well, yeah, that they have the thing, but they also said something about where with them like being able to charge with that. Oh gosh, it was something with the iPhones. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm glad they didn't name something like they did with the Lightning cable. Didn't Apple come up with the Lightning cable? Like, wasn't that their invention?
Yes, this is their proprietary cable port. Yeah.
So I'm glad that they didn't take the USB-C and called it like Magic Port or something, like something out of the ordinary, and they just called it USB-C. You know?
Yeah.
Because that's what Apple does with a ton of things. They make their own quirky name for what they want.
Well, it took them forever to bring out USB-C for the iPhone, and they're really late to the game. Android phones have had that for a long time.
But when they're late to the game, they're always better.
Yes, I was going to bring that up. Apple is notorious for being late for features or some type of hardware design, but they perfect it. They take their time. They were like, okay, yeah, we know that people want this. Let's figure it out first, and let's make sure it works correct. So I think on the Pros, you get that 10 gigabit data speed. So when you're transferring videos from your phone to your Mac, it goes really fast. I think with the regular 15, you only get a gig, which is a lot slower, but I mean, still USB-C.
Yeah.
So
talking about the iPhones, we can just get right into that with the new iPhone 15 and the 15 Pros. They always also have Maxes for both, or the Plus and then the Max, right? There's the iPhone 15 Pro. No, there's the iPhone 15 Plus. And the iPhone 15 Pro Max.
Yep.
Yeah. Which are the two
just
biggest.
iPhone. Let's see.
I thought they had an iPhone 15 Plus, which is like the Plus version of just the regular iPhone 15.
Let me see. Let's see. Okay. Good call. Yeah, so iPhone 15, which is 6.1 inch display, and then iPhone 15 Plus, which is the 6.7 inch display. 15 starts at $799. 15 Plus starts at $899. It is for people who aren't using who don't need really the Pros I think are for the cameras.
Yeah.
There is a pretty good camera now on the 15.
Yeah.
It's a 48 megapixel camera and
5x zoom. Which is
the 15
just
the 15 has a 2 times telephoto.
Yeah. 15 Pro. Does the 15 also have the 48 megapixels? Or is it just for the 15 Pro?
The 15 has the 48 megapixel.
They both do. Okay.
Yep.
But only the iPhone 15 Pro has the 5 times zoom as their ending zoom. Because people are like, I've thought this before I actually learned it, was that I was like 5 times zoom, that's the max, but I zoomed into 10 times zoom on the 14s that they can zoom into 10 times, but that's just them literally zooming in. But that's literally them making that's the clearest zoom photo that they have. Because after the 5x now, after the 5 times, that it just gets blurrier and blurrier as you zoom in.
Right.
Unless you have ultra focus, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so the 15 has the 2 times optical zoom, up to 2 times optical zoom. The 15 Pro has the 3 times optical zoom, and the 15 Pro Max has the 5 times.
Okay, it's the Max.
Yep. So my phone I just got was just the 15. I didn't get the Max this time.
Did you get the 15 Pro?
I'm sorry, 15 Pro. Yep, 15 Pro, no Max. So I'll have the 3 times optical zoom. I'm not telling you.
Yeah, and the action button, is the action button on the 15 or just 15?
No,
Because the action button is also a very good feature in replace of the silent notification silent button or switch kind of lever, latch, whatever you want to call it. It's now changed for the action button, which you can program to. You can do shortcuts. You can open it right to your camera and take photos with your camera. You can do so much with the action button. You can also still silent your phone with it by it's a click of a button.
So yeah, that is only on the Pros.
Okay. So it's
the
only
15
on the
still
Pros.
has the switch
15.
for the ring silent.
Yeah.
Also, the iPhone 15, regular 15, is aluminum with color infused glass back. So
Yeah,
basically,
that's-
how like the last year's model was.
No.
Now,
Last year's model didn't have the color infused back. I think it's the new model now where they had the color infused glass on the back and it's matte.
Well, I was meaning more aluminum. Both the last year's model was aluminum.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was saying that.
Oh, the
it's
color
also a
fused
matte
back?
instead of glass. Where like
Oh yeah,
it's
you're
matte.
right.
It's kind of like the matte screen protectors now.
Yep. The Pros have the titanium with the textured matte glass back.
I was with the titanium when they introduced that they might have the titanium on it. I was like, what? Titanium? That's like really strong.
Yeah.
But it's you're gonna put a case on it anyway, but it's still good for even if that extra protection.
Well, what's good is for the lightness.
Yeah.
I held the 15 Pro today in my hand, and I have a 13 Pro Max, and they're noticeably different in weight. Like, you can definitely tell how light the 15 Pro is because of the titanium. I would imagine that the Max feels the same.
Feels the same, different from last year's.
Yeah.
It's still heavier because it's bigger, obviously.
Yep.
The screen bezels is something.
They did decrease the bezels, too.
And it's a noticeable difference. When you get it and you hold it by itself, the 15, I've heard that you can't really notice a difference. But if you hold it next to in like the 14, it's a noticeable difference. You can notice the sheer screen amount that you get with the 15 now. It's like, it's like 2 millimeters or something that they took off, maybe less. But it's
so it is noticeable.
Yeah, it's noticeable.
Oh, that's good.
It's not like just what they did.
So that's pretty much the iPhone lineup that they released. They also have different chips. Just real quick, different chips. The iPhone 15, the regular iPhone 15 has an A16 Bionic chip, and the iPhone 15 Pros have the A17 Pro chip, which is a 6-core GPU and a 6-core CPU, with a 16-core neural engine. The 6-core GPU is it's a 1 core up from the iPhone 15 for a 15 core.
Yeah. They also have the dynamic island on the 15s and the 15 Pros.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. The dynamic island, I don't think there was any updates with it. I heard that they were going to make it smaller, which I would like, and then just make it bigger. Like they were going to make it like kind of like a thin pill shape instead of like the big pill shape. Because like I heard that like the beginning of this year, that with the 15 that they were going to do that. You know?
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I guess the last thing is really just iOS.
Oh yeah.
17.
iOS 17.
The
new name drop.
Oh,
When you
yeah.
put
So you
phones
can
together.
use. I'm guessing it's just NFC.
Yeah, it's just
near
NFC
field, near
detection.
field communication, where you can just put your phones up to another iPhone, and you
then
can.
they will kind of connect. We're doing it right now.
Yeah, and you can
And they'll do this cool
do
little
contacts
animation.
or you can share different things with people.
Contacts, Google searches.
Yeah, it's kind of like an AirDrop.
Yeah, it's they also have it on the Apple Watches too. The Apple Watch Series 9 also has the name drop on it too. So you can just put your watches together,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You can just do watches.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I thought that was like quick and easy way to swipe someone's number. No, you have to stand there for like, I think it's like 3 seconds. I hope it's not if you're like standing next to someone and your watches are close to each other in a crowded area and it doesn't give you that. That would be annoying. Maybe. I think it has to be elevated and on, because when you lift your watch up, I think it has to do something with that. But iOS 17, there's new background. If you're interested in customizing, you have new clock size differences, new clock fonts. There is also there's a lot more. You're gonna have to research, or not research.
Well, so I'm looking it up.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Looks like you can now send a call to voicemail and see a live script of the message when they're leaving the voicemail, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because then you can decide to answer.
Yeah.
At that point, you're
really
like, oh,
important.
it is them, or yeah, it is. It turns out it is important.
And you can also, there's the FaceTime reactions, where like hold a thumbs up, it brings up the thumbs up emoji, or like, have you seen that? The reactions?
I think so.
On FaceTime with the new depth camera.
Yeah.
Peace sign.
Mm-hmm.
It does different reactions if you like some, thumbs up, thumbs down, and all. It does all that cool stuff.
Yep, that's good.
With the
messages is different. So you all your iMessages are apps. All your iMessage apps are in one place. So it says tap the new plus icon to view all the things that you want to send the most, kind of like you would send like a GIF or your picture or your stickers, stuff like that. They're all in one place now.
Stickers is new too.
Yep.
You can take photos, turn them into stickers. You can take emojis and kind of, how you used to be able to take your face. Like I think it was that. Totally forgot. It was not Bitmoji.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think you're right.
Maybe. Yeah. And you could like hold your finger on it, drag it, and put it on a text. Yeah. You can do that with photos now, which
that's really cool.
They also introduced, I think last year, maybe the year before. Was it last year when they introduced where you could hold it down, and it had just cut out the background of your subject?
Yeah, I think it was last year
that they introduced with iOS 16.
Yeah. I think so.
Loved iOS 16 with the new wallpaper update. That was my favorite thing about iOS 16.
This iOS update is not like small though. There's a lot of new features.
Yeah.
So this feature right here, alone with messaging, I think is going to be good for younger people that are maybe probably high school, like probably your age. When they can check in and automatically notify your family member or friend that you've arrived somewhere safely. It tracks your location, and once you're there, it'll send them an automatic notification. Because I can't tell you how many times I was growing up, my mom would be like, text me when you're there. And I never get there. She has to call me.
Yeah.
Well, or I don't ever text her, so she doesn't know I get there.
See the check-in, right?
Yeah. Check-in.
It was the check-in thing that you can send, and it'll say, yeah, I'm here. I'm checking in. Here's my location.
Yeah, you can swipe up to reply now on a message.
Sideways.
Says
to the right. Swipe to the right.
Oh, yeah. Swipe to the right.
Yeah, swipe to the right.
Swipe to the right. Sorry. And there's new search filters.
There's
all kinds of stuff.
Voice detection's better. It won't, or if you're typing and you misspell a word, it won't automatically correct it. Or no, it was something with your voice typing and you say like the F word or something, it won't say like ducking. It'll actually say the real word.
The word we actually mean to say. Yeah, that's actually good because I kind of hate that. Not that I should use that word, but that happens. You can also now record a video or audio message when someone misses your FaceTime call.
Yeah.
So it'll send them a message saying, "Hey, I can't get to the phone," but it's their face, like it's an actual message, which is cool.
It's also if they don't answer, you can send a video if it's like a real thing you want to see.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, it's in the moment thing, and I wanted you to answer. So now I'm just gonna record this video and have you see it when you can, which is good. Also, on iOS 17, remember the text to speech Have you heard about that? Where like you can, I think it's 15 minutes. I wanted to do it, but then I was like, I don't want to spend 15 minutes saying these phrases into my phone.
Right.
Like, why does it have to be that long? Why can't you just say like the alphabet? No. That would be cool though. But like one of these things was saying like Bobby ate a hamburger last Tuesday. Was one of the phrases that you had to say, so it could get what you were like, because it gets your high and low tones.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And then it puts it all together, and when you type, it's supposed to say your face. It's good, but it's not like accurate. It's mainly for the people who have like disabilities and they can't speak. Mainly for them, so they can talk on their phone, but they couldn't record it anyway because they can't speak.
Nice. But we won't go through all the features. There's a lot of new features with iOS 17, so make sure you update. Also, Apple released new security updates today. I am a security professional, so I have to add this. People make sure you update your iOS, iPadOS, and macOS devices to the newest software that your hardware can go to, so you can stay off those 0-day vulnerabilities. But
so
anything else?
If you want I would recommend doing the iOS 17.
Absolutely.
Also, if you want a new phone and you're planning on getting the iPhone 15, bump up to the Pro if you can. But if you can't, then...
And if you have a 14 already, I wouldn't say it's necessary, really.
Yeah.
Anything older than that, I would say it's probably good to do. But if you have a 14 or 14 Pro, I would say you keep that for another year and wait for the 16 to come out. Or who knows what else they'll call it. But
16 Pro, S6.
Yeah, who knows. But
I heard something, just a little add-on for the ending of it, sorry, but that the iPhone 15 is actually their 17th generation. It's just called the 15 because they had the SE and the stuff like that. But it's really their 17th. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And their 10 was still the 10. Actually, no, I think it was the 11. Really. Did you hear that? That's why they skipped the 9, the iPhone 9.
I feel like I did know that.
It was for their 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
So they did that instead of...
That makes sense. Kind of.
So they needed it. Like,
that's a real Apple thing to do.
Big 10th anniversary. We're going to make the iPhone 10 instead of the iPhone 9.
Yeah, that's an Apple thing to do.
Some people thought it was for suspicions, but then they wouldn't have made the 13.
Right.
If there was any suspicions, like superstitions.
Well, I think that pretty much covers it.
Covers all the new Apple things that y'all need to know. If you want to know more, go check out.
I think you can still watch the event on their website. If you have never checked out an Apple event before, Apple's marketing is top notch.
Amazing.
Top notch. It'll make you want to buy every product if you really watch it. If you really sit down and watch it. But I think that pretty much does it here. Just another episode of Work the Crowd podcast with the new segment that we're calling, again, a little bit of everything. And I'm...
Thanks for having me.
Yep,
I
Miles,
should be on
great
here
job. Yeah.
some other time.
Yeah. So check us out right now on Spotify. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace, everyone.
Peace out.